It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming!
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news. Be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
The Grenada government is committed to improving the lives of citizens. Government announces early payment of January salaries for public officers.
Traditionally, government would make payments to public officers on the second to last day of the month. In this case, for January 2019, we have decided to make early payments to public officers on the 21st of this month. This has not been done in over a decade.
Public officers to get a 4% salary increase.
You would recall that the government would have negotiated with the trade unions for a 10% increase for public officers over a 3-year period. 2017, 3%, 2018, 3%, and 2019, 4%. We would kick off the 4% payment, which is to the tune of $6.7 million on January 21st, 2019.
January salaries to include increments.
Every year, public officers move incrementally in their pay and grade scale. This year, we are paying increments to the tune of $3.6 million, and that would also be included in the January 21st payment.
Will pensioners also benefit?
Pensioners' income is indexed to the salary increases of the public officers. So the 4% increase that public officers is due for 2019, pensioners would also benefit from that 4% increase.
Your government at work, delivering.
Grenada is such a beautiful country, where come forth so much black makers of history. Man, I'm sure that many people will agree if I say she's blessed by the Almighty. Oh God, the standard of skills and talent we have down there in this land.
And good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And it is Hard Talk. We're live, yes, indeed, on City Sound 97.5 CitysoundFM.
And 89.5 CRFM.
In Carriacou, 92.9 Sister Isle FM.
And in Brooklyn, New York, 94.9 WeiVybz Radio.
And you can also find us on Facebook, Hard Talk Grenada Live, and on YouTube, Hard Talk Grenada. And plus, you can visit our website, www.hardtalkgrenada.com. And we have a guest in studio with us this morning, Devon.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Special guest this morning.
Yes, indeed. I'd like to thank and introduce Mr. Joaquin Montserrat. I hope I pronounced it correctly.
It's very, very close. Joaquin Montserrat, thank you very much for hosting me. A pleasure to join you today and your audiences, both in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, but especially to my countrymen in the U.S.
Yes,
who
indeed.
are listening.
And we have a lot of listeners in North Carolina, in Texas, Houston. We have some listeners in Florida, California. Yes, so And we have a guy who usually goes over to Hawaii, so he listens to us from over there as well and calls in from Hawaii as well.
Spanning several time zones,
Yes, indeed.
I'm guessing.
So you are the Deputy Chief of Mission.
I am.
Of the United States for the region, the OECS region, Barbados and the OECS region.
Correct, that's correct.
Yeah, how has that been going? How long have you been in that position?
I arrived about 6 months ago. I was posted previously in Mexico City. And it's been a fantastic experience. I grew up in the Caribbean, in the Spanish West Indies,
wow.
In Puerto Rico, where my family still is. So I'm familiar with many of the issues that we face, weather and otherwise. I had visited Grenada in the past as a tourist, so it's a fantastic experience to get to return and tackle it from a different point of view as a diplomat to your country.
Wonderful. Now, you visited Grenada before. What are your impressions of Grenada?
It seems I'm really heartened to see Grenada coming on the rebound, coming back so strongly after Hurricane Ivan, after the financial difficulties it faced. So I'm really heartened to see the consensus seems to be in society about the fact that the country is headed in the right way. Growing concerns, social concerns about the environment and the protection of the island, how to develop tourism well, how to tackle infrastructure well. It seems to be a good time to be a Grenadian.
Wonderful. Yes, and yesterday you would have been part of, you would have been there at our independence ceremonies. How did you take in the entire activity?
Correct. I was. It was fantastic to see what the Grenadians wanted to showcase from the wonderful job that the police and law enforcement forces did, the cultural performances on the surroundings of the stadium. You had a showcase of some of the arts and culinary arts of Grenada. I was lucky enough. No one warned me that the oil down would go fast. So I was lucky enough to track down someone who still has a little bit of left at the bottom of the pot. To be able
you
to
got the best part, man.
That's the best part of the oil down.
I'm not complaining. I had a great dinner last night.
So you've had our oil down. You've seen a bit of our culture, our dance, and so on yesterday. And we know that there's a very close relationship between the United States and the island of Grenada over many, 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 many years. And what are some of the things bilaterally that have been happening between Grenada and the United States? We hear a lot about what has been happening with Grenada and many other countries, but what has been taking place between Grenada and what are some of the things that are planned, that are coming up between Grenada and the United States?
You know, as you said, Sheldon, we have a shared history. We have so many Grenadians make their home in the U.S. So many Americans visit Grenada. Many make it their second home as well. So the relationships, the bonds that we have developed are far greater than government to government. But I will say that those bonds are very, very strong as well. I met with the government officials. I met with your prime minister, and on both sides, there's just a willingness to explore how to strengthen those government-to-government bonds. But perhaps the more important ones, because governments come and go, are the people-to-people bonds, academic bonds, cultural, and those are the ones that we want to continue encouraging and to continue strengthening. I would have to say that the one I'm proudest of are the exchange programs that we have to allow Grenadians to get a glimpse of the United States. Over the last few days, I also met with leaders in the that have been alumni of our IVLP, of our wildlife programs, youth ambassadors, in across a range of fields, from leaders in the tourism sector, media like yourself, environment and social justice, legal aid. Those are, that's an investment that we'd like to make in the greater collaboration between the two countries. In addition to that, I also had a chance to go to primary schools where we have been working on literacy programs, the early learners programs, tackling a weakness that we perceive particularly in Grenada as it compares to the rest of the OACS, in that reading and literacy rates are under the median for OACS. So we're tackling that in both urban and rural schools to prevent that gap from developing early on in the in education. And so what I heard from the teachers last Tuesday was very, very encouraging. They're very supportive of that program, and we hope to continue. We've also been working on Zika eradication. That's another program that USAID. Just as important, we've been working on law enforcement. We have a very, very close cooperation with the Royal Grenadian Police. That's something that over hundreds of training sessions have been shared. We donated almost $250,000 in APIS equipment to be able to, so Grenada has a good visibility on the passengers that come into Grenada, with greater integration of the Eastern Caribbean. We know that some of the threats we face from international criminals, international terrorists, predators, those are things, that are not limited to borders. And so in as much as that we can share and pull information about the threats that we face, that's something that we absolutely need to encourage and continue working on.
This system you're speaking about is going to assist in identifying, for instance, child predators as they move through the region and so on, because someone who's a child predator, maybe in the United States, may decide that it's easy to come to Grenada, nobody knows me, and then start the same actions again. So this would help identify those persons early.
You're absolutely right. And that program is done through the Joint Regional Command Center, Communication Center, the JRCC, which is part of IMPACTS, the Pan-Caribbean security group. And so what we do through that is share with Grenada information that we have on passengers, on incoming passengers. And that's the APIS system, which is not just child predators, but terrorists, international criminals, money launderers, drug dealers, and so forth.
Okay, so it would make it much easier on the Grenada end to monitor these individuals.
Absolutely.
Or to, in my case, if it's a drug trafficker, I'm not letting them in. The next flight back out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we have that. Drug interdiction. I know that usually, traditionally, the U.S. has worked throughout the region on drug interdiction. Anything happening on that end these days?
One thing, the Eastern Caribbean, the OECS countries are informally known as the third border of the U.S. So we have Canada on the north, Mexico on the other side, and the Caribbean is really, we are neighbors. That's a shared border we have, and those are threats we have. We know the Eastern Caribbean has been used in the past to ship out drugs, ship in weapons from other countries. People trafficking is an increasing concern as well. So those are all areas where we need to be, all of us need to be at the top of our game. So we're able to not only catch the ones that are going on, but anticipate trends that may be forthcoming. Lastly, the other area in which we're working very closely with Grenada is in mitigating the impacts of climate. And that's an area that we remain very active. As you know, we are working with the Grenadian government on seeing how we can help stand up modern, new emergency management centers. We hope to do that very, very soon. That's an initiative by our Department of Defense, which has decided to make that contribution to Grenada. I'd like to highlight that all of these programs that we do are not loans. We're not, we hope not to saddle Grenada with any debt. We know Grenada has been one of the main goals of Prime Minister Mitchell, to reduce the debt to GDP ratio. So we're not adding anything to that. These are pure donations from the U.S. to Grenada as testament of our commitment to our joint future and cooperation.
Wonderful. And for those of you just joining us, we're speaking to Mr. Joaquin Monserrate. He's the Deputy Chief of... I'm still not sure I'm pronouncing correctly.
Every time you say it, it comes out better and better.
Is it getting better?
I think one more and you'll say it just like my mom.
So he's the Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Barbados and the OECS, which also represents the OECS. And we know we have an ambassador in place, but there is a move at this time for a new ambassador. What's the latest with that situation?
With every change in the administration, particularly the political appointees get replaced, and the presidents will choose the ambassadors that they want them represented. Our ambassador to Grenada is a career ambassador, Ambassador Linda Tagliatella. And she has been in place. She was nominated and confirmed during the Obama administration. She remains in place. There is a nominee, but that has to go through the Senate, and those processes sometimes take time. So for the time being, Grenadians, rest assured that you have one of the U.S. most capable and well-meaning ambassadors in the region, taking care of our bilateral relationship.
Wonderful.
Have nothing to worry about.
Grenadians were pleasantly surprised last year by the move by the U.S. Embassy to ensure that Grenadians whose visas expired within 1 year of the date that it was instituted, I think it was October last year, that it was instituted, will no longer have to travel to Barbados. It's a sort of costly activity for us to have to take that plane, go to Barbados, find a place to stay, and go through the process. And then we're still not sure at the end of it that we will be okayed for the visa. So it's something that I know a lot of Grenadians are thankful for. One of the questions, though, that have been on the lips of many Grenadians is if possibly we would be seeing the entire process in Grenada, even for new applicants.
What was announced last year was for visa renewals, and I want your audience to be very mindful. You got to renew those visas within the year, so don't let more than a year pass since the visas lapse to renew, because then you may be required to do a personal appearance, which is what we were trying to avoid, and to encourage travel between. Increase, as I was saying earlier, like the people-to-people connections. That's what we want to encourage by making legitimate travel easier between our peoples, because there is a lot of commercial, cultural, sports, political travel that is essential for the well-being of both of our countries. We would love to be able to have visa services. We do have American citizen services. We have notarial services, passport services. Our principal officer here, Steve Fram, who knows Grenada better than...
And who's in the room, just off camera.
Right behind me, watching me what I say. So I want to say nice things about him. But he, but we do...
So certain services are available at U.S. Embassy
absolutely,
Grenada
absolutely.
for U.S. citizens.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They can even vote in U.S. elections.
I didn't know that.
That's right.
So they can vote here in Grenada?
They can vote here in Grenada.
Wow.
Correct.
That's something I learned today. So what some of the questions though, the average Grenadian, what do they need to know when they're heading to Barbados to apply for a U.S. visa? What does the average Grenadian need to know when they're going through that process?
If they're applying for the first time, what we're looking for first and foremost is to ensure that you don't use a tourist visa to migrate. And so that if you apply for, there are migrant visas. So if your intention is to migrate, apply for an immigrant visa. If your intention is to go for business or pleasure, then we want to make sure that is really what you intend to do. And so a tourist, a business person must be someone who has ties to Grenada, who's coming, who can demonstrate that this is a short trip, that they intend to come back to Grenada. That's usually demonstrated through having a steady source of income, having responsibilities to both families and professional, perhaps having demonstrated a history, a pattern of having traveled elsewhere. So those are the things. I mean, it's not about the documents. It's not about the documents you bring or how many stamps you have on a piece of paper. It's really about your intentions, and through the interview we're able to ascertain that if you plan to go visit family in New York, that you intend to do just that, visit family and then come back to your responsibilities in Grenada.
Because there are persons, and there have been situations, and there may even be some listening now from the U.S. who went up on a non-immigrant visa and overstayed their time and so on.
That's right. So that happens, I mean, and I don't want to single out Grenadians, that happens across the world. And in fact, our largest segment of non-documented migrants, that is people who are what they call illegal migrants, are people who came with visas. So we have to be careful with that, because that is not the path to go and stay in the U.S. I mean, you have to get in line along with the rest of the others. So what I would say, when someone goes for a first interview, the most important thing is do not listen to the questions and answer them honestly. Do not make things up. Do not try to give us something that you've memorized. Just listen to the questions and answer them honestly. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know, or I haven't made those plans yet. But I think one of the things that trips a lot of people who are bona fide applicants, who are people who really don't intend to stay, is that they are told to go and memorize something, or to hark on a document, or ignore the questions, or they shut down out of fear or intimidation. So just go there, relax, answer the questions, and I think most of the Grenadians will be fine. And then once you get your first one, it's a breeze, because you just send your passport. It's a 10-year visa. Every 10 years, you just send it back through the courier for renewal. And once you use your first visa, once you use it correctly, it gives us the peace of mind that that's really what you intend to do. So,
Now, you mentioned that there's a migrant visa for people that intend to migrate to the United States. Have we been seeing significant numbers of people applying for those visas from the region, from the OECS region, not just Grenada, but from the OECS as a region? Or is it mainly the non-immigrant visa that people have been applying for?
No, non-immigrant visas are by far the majority. By far, I mean, in the thousands. Immigrant visas are a lot more time-intensive, resource-intensive. It's meant A lot of them are for family reunification. So many of your listeners will probably have someone in the queue going through the process of immigrant visas. Those are aimed at when you want to bring your parents to live with you, or you want to bring your adult children or relatives, or even a spouse. There is a process for that. The numbers have been steady throughout. There are countries that have a larger diaspora in terms of per capita basis, and Grenada is one of them. Barbados doesn't have, for its size, doesn't have as much of a diaspora. So the numbers are relatively steady.
Okay, Barbados just has Rihanna. That's it.
That's right.
Just Rihanna.
That's right.
That's the whole thing. Rihanna. So, all right, folks. So we're speaking here. Let me see if I get it better now. Mr. Joaquin Monserrate. Yeah.
Joaquin,
yeah. Monserrate. Yeah. Joaquin Monserrate.
Correct.
Right. So I've got it good now.
You did.
All right. And we also have in the background we have Mr. Stephen Fram, and I know Grenadians are very, very aware of Mr. Stephen Fram, because it's a gentleman that we see at every activity. Once he's on island, he's at every activity, and he has a habit of just going on his own different places, and so interacting with people at schools and at various business places and so on. So he's a person that's kind of popular around Grenada. We all know Mr. Stephen Fram.
That's great. That's great to hear. He was getting recognized.
He's almost Grenadian.
Yeah,
he's almost Grenadian.
He's almost Grenadian.
Yeah, you may have a request from him to give up his U.S. passport soon. And come. And at the same time, we need to say a very special happy birthday to the former chargé, Mr. Louis Christoch, who is celebrating his birthday today. So to you, wherever you are, Louis, happy birthday. He's celebrating his birthday today.
Happy birthday indeed.
You mentioned, we've just spoken about the visa application process and so on, but there's another program that is run through the U.S. Embassy that has interacted with quite a lot of people on the island, and it's a program that a lot of people don't know about, the IVLP program. Give us some insight into that program.
So the IVLP program is one that's by nomination. It stands for International Visitors Leadership Program, and it's a 3-week program through the U.S. It's arranged topically. So the one in which you participated was media, if I'm correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Media and youth engagement.
Right. And so the topics are numerous. You're partnered with like-minded people from other countries. And the idea is to expose and develop networks with American counterparts, with people from around the world. There's also the WeiVybz program. It's the Youth Leaderships Exchange program, and that one is self-nominated. So if you go to the website of the U.S. Embassy for Grenada, you will find the link where you can nominate yourself to participate in this program, and these are for younger folks who have something that they would like to develop, and the selections are made yearly.
Okay, so that may be in art, in culture, in sports, in
entrepreneurship, the environment, politics, media, sports, whatever it is that's of interest to you. So that's something that I would encourage your listeners, if they're interested, to look into. And then we have the youth ambassadors. These are high school students who go and to high schools in the U.S. So all these programs are part of a very robust exchange programs that we have. You can talk to our embassy here in Grenada, or our Study U.S. Center at the community college.
Because the international visitors, I would have been a member of the IVLP, the International Visitors Leadership Program, And I can say that it does offer you a lot of insight into your specific area. For instance, in relation to youth development, I got a lot of information in relation to youth development, youth entrepreneurship, even the educational system, the U.S. educational system. Visiting one, a very high-tech school out in Texas, Houston, Texas, going to Albuquerque, going to different schools, science labs, and so on, and seeing how they operate. Even meeting with the average American family, and even meeting with the going to the tribal areas and meeting with one of the original American families, the what do you call them again? I don't want to say Apaches. That's just one. The American Indians.
Correct.
So meeting with them and so on, going into their territory, seeing their ceremonies, and strange enough, seeing how similar it is to some ceremonies that take place even here in Grenada. So it was a wonderful experience for me. It was a wonderful experience, but I think one of the best things I got from it was the networking. Being able to network with different organizations in the U.S. and also with people around the world. So now I have friends in Tanzania and Angola, and I have friends in the Ukraine, and I've got friends in Ethiopia and El Salvador, etc. So that networking of friends that we still speak years after, we still speak nearly on a weekly basis, or sometimes it ends up on a daily basis that we're messaging each other. So I think it's a wonderful program. It's a program I'd like to see a lot more Grenadians go to. You have any idea the figures of how many people have gone from Grenada thus far to that program?
I would surmise that we have about a roster of anything from 20 to 30 alumni from Grenada.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I would say, and you can back me up on this, is that, we're not looking for people that necessarily agree with us. There's no ideological requirement.
I could say that for sure.
I mean, we are a nation that encourages dissent, diversity in not just ethnic diversity or gender diversity, but also diversity in ways of thinking and criteria. So the participants in the IVLP are never vetted for ideology or ways of thinking. In fact, we want to encourage people who are willing to step outside the box and challenge conventional wisdom, because that's a kind of complex partnership that we want to have. I mean, we don't want yes people. We don't want people who are going to necessarily agree with us just for the sake of it.
But independent-minded, independent thinking people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the same goes for the other exchange programs.
Okay, wonderful. Many Grenadians at this point in time concerned about the U.S.-Venezuela situation. Would you like to tell us anything about the present status of the U.S.-Venezuela situation? It's on talk programs. Many people are giving their perspectives from an official capacity.
I would first of all say this is not a U.S.-Venezuela issue anymore than this is really an issue between Venezuelans. We have our point of view. In fact, it's a point of view that's shared widely. So you could just call this just as well an Argentina-Venezuela issue. It's really democracy, a challenge of democracy in Venezuela. And so nations like the United States, Canada, but also Grenada, nations who value their democracy, who have had their democracy challenged and tested, like you guys did, will value the fact that Venezuelans have been going through a really, really difficult time, not just in the erosion of their democratic values, but also in their well-being, their health, their humanitarian situation in Venezuela is catastrophic. So what we would hope for is that your listeners, just as you Grenadians needed international support when it was going through difficult times, whether those were political or humanitarian, we're just hoping that the Caribbean can also really not forget the Venezuelan people who are going through such a difficult time in a self-imposed crisis that really has no reason for being in a country that has all the resources, all the means to be doing much better than it is. That's really what the appeal that I would make to Grenadians, to keep, think that Venezuelans, just as you would expect, just as you counted on others to be there for you when you needed it, Venezuelans really need your support to get through this horrific situation that they're experiencing now.
Okay. Because everyone's worried and saying, okay, you're hearing nuclear bombers in the region and all this sort of thing, and it's a worrying thing for the average person.
I can imagine, but the solution to this should not be military. The solution to this should not be by force. The solution to this should not be by outside intervention. It should really, in an ideal world, this should be sorted out by Venezuelans on their own. But you have a very dictatorial regime that has a monopoly on power, weapons, violence, and you have a significant portion of the population, possibly a majority of the population, who are completely defenseless against that. You guys experienced that not that long ago, and you needed outside help to overcome that. Let's hope Venezuela doesn't get to that. Let's hope the Venezuelans themselves can overcome this crisis. But for that, that dictatorial regime is going to have to yield and make space for the forces of democracy, because that's really unstoppable.
Okay, wonderful. All right, folks, I know that you have to head out because I know you have another appointment in the next few minutes. And I'm pretty sure that our good friend on the other side there is getting nervous because she knows you have to be down on another program in a short while. Any final words that you'd like to leave with the Grenadian people today?
Well, I wanted to congratulate Grenadians on 45 years of independence, on having made it, and 45 years having ended up with a country that's battle-tested, a country that's financially tested in a way that's strong, that's conscious, where crime is low, where the economy is doing increasingly better, where you guys are more confident about your ability to manage your future, and to know that you, in good times and bad, you will always have a partner in the United States. So we're there for you. These bonds are eternal, I hope.
All right. I would like to thank you so very much. Just a tidbit before you leave, though. It's a little known fact that there were born Grenadians who were part of the Revolutionary War in the United States.
So little known that I didn't know it myself.
There were soldiers from Grenada. They were French, with the French troops. I think some of them would have been at the Battle of Yorktown, actually, that would have been born in Grenada and were part of the French troops that would have played a part in American independence.
So we needed outside assistance. A belated thanks to other Grenadians who helped us attain our independence.
It's a little known fact. So I'd like to thank you so very much, sir. And folks, we've been speaking with Mr. Joaquin Monserrate. He is the Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. We've spoken about the visa issues and so how you can go about getting your visa and the proper way to go about getting your visa, some of the programs available and some of the assistance that the United States has been giving to the region. And we've also spoken a little bit about the Venezuela situation. So we'd like to thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you,
feel
Sheldon.
free to come at any time.
Thank you, Don.
Anytime. The door is always open.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All the
Thank
best.
you very much, folks. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more Hard Talk for you. And we'll be back in a short.
It is said that education is the key to success. The Grenada Development Bank believes this to be the truth. Hence the reason we have made it our prerogative to ensure that your key is in safe hands with us. Here is how you can unlock your success with an education loan from the GDB. We offer you 3 loan options. We've got our regular student loan, our work-study student loan, and our special student loan. Our regular student loan is for persons who wish to pursue full-time tertiary level education. If you are a permanent employee who wish to study while continuing your employment, then our work-study loan is for you. Our special student loan is in collaboration with the government of Grenada, geared towards vulnerable persons who would like to pursue higher level education. Remember, you must have proof of admission from a recognized institution here at home or abroad. All our loans are 100% financing with interest rates as low as 5%. Get your funding from GDB today for your tertiary level education, your technical training or vocational training, even professional development, with up to 12 years to repay. Your future success is today. Grab it now.
The nation's future depends on you. Hail, hail, you workers of this land. Let evaluate the service you give to this nation. Your work ethics are not what you should emulate. Your production and dedication are second rate. So much petty lies and excuses you make to be on the job. Time is money, so think of how much of it you have. For too long you compete to be last to arrive and first to leave. Where's the national pride? Time to be productive. What have you done for Grenada lately? What have you done to improve this land? What have you done for your country lately? Where is the proof you made a contribution? Have you toiled the soil on the hill to reduce our input bills so we could keep a couple dollars in hand? Now is the time to get up and get, cause the worst of time ain't come yet. Now the chips are down, stand up and fight like a man. The country needs you now. Now more than ever. The country needs you now.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yes, so we just had a visit there from the U.S. Embassy. And as we said, the door is open. The door, it is hard talking. We door open so they can come back at any point in time. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. And any other country want to come and talk too, they can come and talk. Grenada is friend with you. You didn't know that Grenadian troops were part of the American War of Independence. If you check the Battle of Yorktown, some of the French troops that were there, they had troops that were taken from the Caribbean region as well. So French territories, as like Haiti and Grenada at the time, and one or two other islands, so that you had Grenadians were part of liberating the Americans back in the American War of Independence. Wow. I had to do some more research on it. I got it in thing. I had to do some more research on it. Yeah, do some more research on it. And folks, it is now 12 minutes to the hour of 11 o'clock. 12 minutes to the hour of 11 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. The day after Independence Day, we're now officially 45 years old.
45 years old.
Now, in that 45 years, we really do things, you know.
Wow.
We had what? A revolution, an invasion. How much hurricane? Now, we didn't. Janet didn't pass in that time,
No,
so
we had
two major hurricanes.
We
had some minor things.
Back to back, we had some minor.
Tropical
surges,
storm Lenny that was going the wrong direction and caused all kind of flooding and all kind of thing. We had all of that, boy. We went through all of that.
Gilbert, all of these passed from the. I mean,
them go up the road, but
they go up the road, but you know, Grenada was this. You know,
then we went through 2 doses of NDC, so that space at time.
Yeah,
went through a lot of political turmoil, huh?
Two
2 doses of NDC.
Well, I would say
1990,
incomplete dose of LDC.
Even the incomplete dose was too much, boy.
Wow. And if you check it, in both
that was like a drink
terms,
of bottle and a salva.
Yeah, in both terms, right? They end up basically in turmoil, chaos. I mean,
but that's the thing.
You know?
One of the features over the past 45 years has been a lot of political intrigue, a lot of societal things like that. And for instance, you had Bloody Monday, you had all these things that took place. You had, again, the revolution itself and what took place during the revolution. You had the invasion and what took place during that point in time.
June 19th,
yeah.
blast, I mean.
You had all sorts of things that have taken place in Grenada, you know, and a lot of things.
Within that 45-year period.
Yeah. And we're here and standing strong.
That's
the thing, you know. We are here and standing strong. So as the deputy chief said, we are resilient people. Grenadians are resilient people. So to have gone through all of these over the past 45 years and we're still standing, in fact, we're standing stronger than ever.
And not just that, not just standing stronger than ever, stronger than almost all the other Caribbean countries.
In fact, some of them combined.
You understand?
Still as strong as we, you know.
You know, economically, I mean, stability.
In a strongman competition.
I mean, and they may not always, I mean, let us know that we are on top.
Yeah.
I mean, when he goes out and performs.
We'll send we muscle man out and he just lick them up.
473 to the world.
Yeah.
I mean, well representing Grenada, you know, so...
See Lasha suit yesterday.
Yeah. I can imagine, yeah. I didn't have the opportunity to...
Goose!
to view him because I was at...
Goose give them a Lasha suit there yesterday. If you see our wrong shoes, boy, what?
I had extra duties to do. So
I feel them fellas and them does have a special set of shopping that does do for independence, man.
No, of
that
course.
team, them guys are them.
You have to, I mean, the detail has to be crisp, and so their performance on that day has to show to the world that, look, I mean, they are doing what needs to be done.
But Devon, even looking at Grenada over 45, Grenada at 45, there have been a lot of improvements, and while some people refuse to acknowledge it, there have been a lot of improvements.
We could name a lot.
Because even if we look at the period with Sir Eric Matthew Gary, and you say, well, Gary ain't do nothing for the country, and Gary ain't do...
That's incorrect.
Close to 15% of our GDP comes from the St. George University School, well, not School of Medicine. Exactly. I continue to say School of Medicine, that shows my age. Yes. But it's St. George University. And that was started with great opposition by Sir Eric Matthew Gary.
Exactly. Another key point again, look at our education system. He was the prime minister or leader that built the most schools in Grenada's history.
Especially the secondary schools.
To
provide secondary education and so
on, you know.
And then if we look at that and we can move over to the period of the revolution and we had schools again. We have our international airport was built during that period of time, which provides ease of access to Grenada. In other words, if I had to travel before, I would have to get a taxi to take me to Pearls.
Which wouldn't that be bad enough, because I had to do the same when I'm in Grenville and I had to come down to
but I talking about for me now. For me now. I'd have to go that direction and then come down. It helped Grenville remain a uptown during that period of time, that you had, because everybody had to go there. And sometimes you had to pass in Grenville and buy something quick on your way to the airport, right? So it did do that. So sometimes somebody come in and decide, I'm making a lime in Grenville before I go downtown, boy. And they make a local lime in Grenville and so. So it had its nice aspect to it, and so having the airport up there. But the international airport, to be able to handle the size of aircraft that it's handling and so, and the cargo capability. Because before, remember, you didn't have no capability for major cargo coming in by air.
No.
So you now have major capability for that. So that's a difference. That's something that we didn't have 45 years ago that we have now. That with its flaws, that there are always something. So Eric Matthew Gary had his flaws, but he did do many positive things for Grenada. Some of the playing fields that we have.
They were started and completed by Sir Eric Matthew Gary.
Progress Park. The fellas give a joke. They say the guys were playing cricket in the road up there. And so Eric, being his normal self, so Eric went up there, making a local line by a shop, taking a drink and so. So those guys playing cricket and ball hit the car. So then bother it, ball hit the car again. The third time it hit the car. I said, what going on here? Say, well, uncle, we need a place to play. we need somewhere to play.
Progress Craft was born.
Uncle licked down the coffee and thing that it had.
And cocoa, man. A wonderful piece of cocoa on that ground.
Cocoa and coffee and thing I heard. So I wouldn't know about it. But I heard that. I say what I hear. I don't know what I'm thinking. I hear that.
It was coffee and cocoa, especially the cocoa, was one of the better pieces of cocoa we had around, just in the immediate.
But if you pass and you go in the back, you still find some cocoa.
Yeah, definitely.
You ain't finding the coffee, but you still find the cocoa.
Yeah. You may find one or two
coffee tree in between,
and so.
By some people that hold that.
You had some breadfruit trees, and you had bananas and so around there too, in between.
Yeah.
But
so Eric Matthew did that. And Progress Park right now, we have regional and even international cricket there sometimes.
It was for the best.
You have football taking place there. Look, we had Intercall there.
Intercall there, I mean, was...
So Eric did that.
Yeah, and it serves as one of the major playing facility for St. Andrews, or even the northern section of the island. I mean,
Yeah. And also when you look at the period of the revolution, yes, we spoke of the airport and so. But many of the doctors and healthcare professionals that are serving us right now came out of that period. Many of the education and the people who teach at schools and so on, even principals and so on, when you check, they were educated in Cuba. Some of our engineers and so on, they were sent not only in Cuba but other countries as well through the revolution. So the revolution had a lot to do with educating, especially the poorer class of people. Getting scholarships for the families that may have had a brilliant child, but that child just never had the opportunity. There was no way they could have seen an opportunity to go overseas and study unless some rich uncle or something some uncle or somebody made it big and decided to taking them overseas. The poor people got a chance under the revolution to go out and do that. And nobody's saying that the revolution was perfect. I for one say that yes, it had its problems, but every area over the past 45 years, we've had positives.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Even right within our government, present government here right now, I mean, you look at one of our, I mean, the land herself is a product of being educated in Cuba and service to our country. I mean, look at how long she has been a sitting parliamentarian. And not just that, being a doctor, the service that she has been providing to our communities. I mean, it's, it's amazing.
What about Dr. Thomas? That's the people's
Dr.
doctor.
Thomas,
Dr. Thomas, who everyone knows.
Yep.
Goes above and beyond. Cuba again.
Cuba again. I mean, there are a number of persons. I mean, we lost a lot.
Terrence Marichaud?
Yes, Terrence Marichaud again. Right. Dr. Dragan. A number of them. Right. Dentists. We have Dr. Dubois. And so a number of them who had the opportunity, right, to go out there and educate themselves. And what happened during the revolution is that you had a lot of young persons, right, coming out from the, what you call, quote unquote, the more, not the upper class, but the middle class. And so opportunities for persons within the rural areas to send the children off to Cuba to become professionals.
But not just Cuba, you had people that went Bulgaria, you had people that went to Russia
Soviet
itself.
And it's was a great experience. I mean, the eye of Grenada opened much wider during the revolution when it comes to international affairs. And so we were put on the map, right, during the revolution much more than any other, administration before.
And then after the revolution, you had the first New National Party, and then you had the TN that was followed by the TNP.
Well, you had the interim. You had the interim government.
The interim government for just a period of time to bring us to elections. You had the first New National Party,
headed by Mr. Blaze.
Mr. Blaze.
Former Prime Minister Blaze.
That's the first time Dr. Mitchell won. The St. George Northwest seat, and wasn't the last. So
and still going. It's more than the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, it's just going and going.
Yeah,
but you also had in that parliament at that time, you had people like Mr. Brizan,
Mr.
Tillman Thomas, Francis Alexis, Arlene Walker was there. Walker was there.
I wonder.
Can't remember if Walker was in that 1984.
I'm not sure. I think so.
I can check.
Yeah, we can check. I think so. All right, because it was 14 to 1, right? 14 to 1, I think. I'm not. Yeah, you had a number of persons who again were there. You pull it up. You have your
I'm trying to get it, but I'll get it in a short time.
Finley St. Louis. You had Kenny Lal Singh, also too. I think
I'm seeing Herbert Blaze, Pauline C. Andrew, Ben Jones, Aline Walker,
yeah,
Danny Williams, George Maguire, George Brizan, Keith Mitchell, Francis Alexis, Finley St. Louis, Grace Duncan, Felix Alexander, Tillman Thomas, and Kenny Lal Singh. And the only opposition, Gary had to get a seat. So Marcel J. Peters, St. Andrew Northeast. St. Andrew Northeast being the only constituency that has never gone to the NDC, along with St. Mark and St. George Northwest. Those three constituencies have never gone to the NDC. Never. That's why they try so hard this time. Man. They try real hard, boy. I ain't lying. They try, boy. They try for Northeast. Mosquito hold them. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes. Carriacou went once, I think, on the June
Purcell. Yes. And also remember the former Prime Minister, Braffett. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So Carriacou would have gone to the NDC before. Yes, well, folks, we're going to open the phone lines, 4407377.
And 347-329-3101.
Yeah, so we had that. For folks, for more information on the IVLP, feel free to message me. The thing is, the IVLP is not one that you apply to. The IVLP is one that you're selected to. So they would look and they would see a young person that's doing art, for instance, and they realize that's a wonderful artist. So they would select that young person and they get the opportunity to go to the United States for 3 weeks. You visit sometime as much as 5 or 6 cities, and they would bring you where you can meet other artists in other styles and so on, so that you can have people that you could connect with. That later on, that same person may be able to say, okay, we're doing an exhibition, we'd like you to exhibit here in the United States, we want you to come back, and that sort of thing. Or it could be somebody in agriculture, and they decide, okay, we're bringing this person in agriculture, and we're going to send you down to Iowa, Wyoming, and so on, and let you see how we do agriculture in these areas, even on a small scale, on a large scale, and so on, or how they do manufacturing, and all of that. So it is an opportunity that the U.S. Embassy here does give to various people. Yeah, I myself would have been on it before. Not would have, but was on it before. So I know it's a wonderful program. Yeah, I have several friends who I know went as well here in Grenada. All right, so 4407377.
And 347-329-3101. And good morning to all of you on the live, wherever you are. And so a beautiful Grenadian morning to you. Yeah, a couple of hours after our 45th anniversary.
And we've been looking at how we improve over the years. And for instance, the first time I went to Carriacou would have been in 1994. That's the first time that I went to Carriacou. The roads were nowhere near. I think Carriacou still remains the part of the Tri-Island state with the best roads.
Yes,
the best, hands down.
Most developed,
Yeah. When you look at the roads and so, I know such a hole and thing in
Carriacou was the best. From where I know Carriacou was in the 80s, when I used to go up there, I mean, almost every Sunday, right, with Eastward and all these other both doing the
first time I went up with the Nima Osprey, it was Alexia.
Well, look at that. And Alexia came
Alexia
after.
3, I think.
Yeah, and just imagine for where it is now. I mean, Carriacouians, you have to be proud of where Carriacou, as part of the Tri-Island, came. And where it is
I remember
now.
going up to Carriacou and different areas. Even recently, going up to Carriacou, I know different areas that were dirt tracks. And to see that you have serious concrete road going through those areas
Highways
right now. And to see you have the desalination plant up. So I don't expect Carriacou to go through the same problems that Grenada would go through over the next 6 months when it comes to water. I think Carriacou would be a lot better off than us. One, because they have a tradition of storage of water anyway. Carriacou has a tradition of that. They build their houses to store water.
Yeah,
and to top it off, they still have now the desalination plant to back them up. So, and they have ponds.
Yeah, and on top of all of that, you have the new seaport.
Yeah.
right? I mean, to make transportation via sea much easier and comfortable.
Just 20 years ago, people wasn't seeing that for Carriacou. And we have to continue to congratulate the Honorable Elvin Jean Nimrod
he has done
for
a lot
the excellent job that he's done, the marvelous job that he has done. And we realize that the Honorable Kindra Mathurin has taken the baton and just run with it.
She's running like...
Right now, she do what Killer say, she run with it.
She run with it too. She's looking to break that record.
Yeah, man. So she continues to do an excellent job out there in Carriacou. And we see Carriacou moving up and up. And even when you look at Grenada, because, okay, we say there are problems with different parts of the roads right now. But remember where we came from. Yeah, we came about a point in time. And if it had been maintained during that period, 2008 to 2013, as it ought to have been maintained, we would not be having the problems with the roads right now. Because the new National Party government did the road from the airport go straight up to St. Patrick. Alright? They did the road from the airport, from Point Saline, go straight up to St. Patrick. Nobody used to pass on Lagoon Road, now Karani James Boulevard. Nobody used to pass there. Everybody used to pass Belmont.
Look at the St. David's Road.
Town people know that, innit? People didn't. When you're going Granans Beach, you come from town, you take your bus in the Market Square.
Go through Paddock.
Right. Go through Paddock, and it used to go through by Francis Pet Supply, the little thing they could go Springs where you go down. And then you head through
down by
Belmont. Yeah, you pass in front of Brewster and them and down the road. That is where the main road used to be. Nobody used to pass down on the bottom road. Unless you have business to do there, and so you pass there. And then it had this at whole iron where Port Louis and thing was too. So it didn't even used to look nice. So hardly anybody used to go down there, but look what it is now. That's the main road now. Nobody in passing Belmont again.
No, not easy unless you have to go to visit somebody.
But you can't get a bus to go through Belmont again.
Not easy.
Everything is passing Lagoon Road right now because it has been developed. And I remember I lived in that area when that road was being done. Yeah, I remember the hardship that people went through in the area, but they went through it smiling, knowing that at the end of it, we was getting a highway. Yeah, so the port, even the port highway, the port itself, to see how the port itself has developed over the years. Even the Royce and John playing field, to see how it's developed. It's developed. Devon could tell you more because Devon is a man that grew up in all them areas, go and swim in the spout.
Look at Tam CC. Look at Tam CC right now. That was just we used to call it a wing. We used just to go and do metal work and mechanic and woodwork. So even after Hurricane Ivan would destroy the Keys Universal building. And look now. Hurricane Ivan destroyed it, leveled that. What we knew as Keys Universal. And look at it, it's back up and running. But Sheldon,
and even the GBSS on the hill.
What is significant, Despite all people talk about our roads, but they're only talking about our major road. I think that at this point in time, Grenada has the best network of road servicing the communities in the Caribbean, in my view.
I wouldn't doubt that. Trinidad produces asphalt. Trinidad has an economy that dwarfs ours. When you speak, they're speaking billions and all kind of thing. When we just speak 2 billion and 1 billion, they're speaking billions. And if you go to Trinidad now, some of the worst roads you could find on the planet is in Trinidad. Grenadians complain. But if you go to Trinidad right now, some of the worst roads that you could find on Papa God Earth is in Trinidad, and they produce asphalt. The thing they use to pave the road.
And the significant, the beautiful thing about it, right? The new National Party government over the years, right, that they have been in office, they decided to upgrade the inner roads, the roads that service the communities, most importantly, right? That what affects the everyday life, everyday thing of the people of this country. When you step out of your house and you step onto the road, it's concrete. Before it was mud or grass. Now it's much more comfortable, right? And so more persons owning vehicles, right? I mean, it's one, in my view, one of the better road networks you have in the Caribbean.
But we have moved forward as a people over the 45 years. We've moved forward as a people, and we have to admit that. But there are those that want to give you the impression that Grenada gone back. Yeah? we know we could speak, and that's a good thing with being middle-aged.
Yes.
In my context, it's a good thing with being middle-aged because I could speak about now, but I could also speak with a view of what existed before.
Yep.
So I could speak with a clear understanding of what existed in the 1990s because I was around in the 1990s. I wasn't born in the 1990s. I could explain what was going on in the 1990s because I done make man in the 1990s already. Yes, so I could understand what was going on in that period of time. That when you went to a secondary school or a primary school, during lunchtime and so children used to play in the yard. And the reason they play in the yard because they didn't have any cars. The only person sometime in a school used to have a car was the principal and maybe the vice principal or some other teacher whose parents might be a little well off and they're teaching just for a little while to make a little money before they fly out. And they might have had a vehicle. So one, maybe two cars in a school. Go to a school now. Go to a school now and see what's going on. One set of vehicles park up all over. Yeah, you're lucky the students and all driving.
Well, if the students was given the permission, a lot of them would have good.
Back in the days of the original GBSS, it had fellas with cars.
Peter Francis.
Yeah. We know fellas who was in GBSS and had cars.
Peter Francis and all Judah and all of them.
Nazim and them. Not Dan Nazim Benjamin. These guys and them. Used to have a car back in GBSS back in those days.
Peter David, younger brother.
Koila?
Not Koila. The two youngest one, Patrick and the one with the truck business there. What's his name, man? Nazim? Yeah, they used to take their father mini moke and so on. Because they used to ride down inside. They take the mini moke and come to school and all that sort of thing. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Hey, Sheldon. Yes, I know Devon over that. I have a joke for you. Don't you know the hoods never play for Happy? They born in Happy. And they never represent Happy.
Boy, you talk about Bokwe. it only have lately.
They represent Fountain Oil and 100.
Yeah.
But never represent Happy.
No, but I think at one time Wayne Hood, the younger one, the short one, he played for Happy 1 year, you know. And then he moved to 100.
Because Wayne used to play for 100.
Yeah, he moved,
Coddington used to play for Fountain Oil and his brother. But these people were so isolated in Happy. They hate Happy people so much, especially the Mitchells. Let me tell you something. The who hate the Mitchells so bad. I told Dr. Mitchell that once, you know, because I couldn't understand how they became friends. But you know Doc already. You have an open heart. But you say, you know, sometimes when you head leading your ass, your backside go pay for it. I'm telling you, so I just waiting because I told Doc, I said, God, these people, from the father, he has hate your parents so much. I don't know what your parents had done to the hood, but the hood had never liked Happy people. I used to go up there, Sheldon, and Joe Kane during holiday school time. The hoods never liked the Mitchell. Never. And when Dr. Mitchell come and put Coddington as Attorney General and send the next one to be ambassador to China, I used to laugh. I just laugh. I said, just a matter of time. Just a matter of time for they come back and attack him.
So you see the difference in Portsmouth. Despite what went on long before, Dr. Mitchell still went on, despite what it is, gave the opportunity to someone who he thinks deserved it. You know?
Yeah. And I have another news. I hear the Grenlec now. I heard they're trying to go into Grenlec, fighting Grenlec to find a way to strike on the government.
I don't know. I could tell you that Grenlec will make a fridge because they burn it. I could tell you, and they owe a friend of mine her television because they burn hers.
Yeah, I find for the last.
They burn my fridge, you know.
They say when you can't beat them, you have to find all kind of things. But they never know. Every time we can beat a man, we try to find a way how to overthrow him.
But watch me. If you remember, 45 years ago, right? You remember the electricity situation in our country just before independence, right? You remember what went on? The blockouts and that sort of thing. 45 years ago. Very significant. Let us not forget our history.
I tell you, there's a plan on, buddy. I don't know how they're going to make it, but there's a plan on. I only just pinching all you.
But remember, you've heard what I've been saying for the past 2 weeks. We know that there's a plan by certain elements. The meeting, they have a meeting that others have, you know. They have the little coming together of the minds, and part of the strategy is undermine the government. Yeah. You can't beat the government in an election, the ruling party. You can't beat it head-to-head in an election, so undermine them.
Shut it the hell down.
Yeah, that's the plan. Undermine, whether it's through the public service, whether it's through the unions, and so on. Okay, he's gone.
Oh, we lost our friend.
Yeah, we lost him there. Let's try the next line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Brother Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
How you going? Brother Sheldon, everybody.
Happy Independence, man.
I missed that session yesterday. That's something I really called to find out. I want your assistance, your assistance. They say the government make ex gratia payment increase, right? And I saw my friend, Mr. Brian Grimes, just complaining about it. So I would like to find out what the ex gratia payment is about.
I'm not even sure for myself which one you're talking about.
So I would like to explain that to me.
I ain't sure. But I'll find out for you.
Yeah. I heard something of that, but I don't have clarity.
I'm not sure on the ex gratia. If I know it, I say one time, but I honestly don't know
I've been
what
hearing
it's
it
about.
in the news and so, but not
government making payments and you're complaining?
Yeah.
Understand that? If government wasn't making payments, I could understand.
Yeah, well, I hope that the Ministry of Finance, which has already been doing it, start ensuring that the pensions, person receiving their pensions and so on.
Stay tuned. Yes, it seems as though the teachers' election and the public workers' election could be very interesting.
Very interesting.
What do you say, regime change?
Yeah, regime change. Regime change.
See, I said to them, started to say, what? They say Brian Grimes. They started to call Brian Grimes INNP.
Yeah. They started telling me green and all kind of thing. I mean,
they started telling me INNP.
Yeah. But it's expecting, I mean, watch, a lot of persons have not yet seen the true colors of some of these guys out there, you know, aligned to the NDC, right? And so, you have not seen their capability as yet, right? Give them time. Give them time, and Grenadians, you will see who their targets are. You understand? I mean, look, Dr. Mitchell has been taking the blows, right, for years. And so, and he's still standing, right? Because he understands that his job right here is to lead this country into the future, better men, not to study old talk and to get into bickering with other political figures. And so he has to stay focused to govern and to lead this country, and he has been doing a great job so far. You know,
but Devon, you know, the Dutch Challenge Trophy is coming up again, and that's the cricket competition, inter-constituency.
I had to get involved in this thing, you know.
Yeah, the reigning champs from St. Andrew Southeast done train talk for people already.
Yeah. I got to get involved in Southwest. I know we have real good cricketers, and that, you know, female as well as male.
Well, the opening ceremony is taking place next week, Saturday. That'll be at Malmont playing field. From 4 p.m. So there'll be a match there, parliamentary representatives versus the office staff.
Yes.
Yeah, understand? So first match, parliamentary representatives versus office staff.
Our opening bat.
Yes, so that will be taking place.
Our opening bat. Sheldon is one of the fast bowlers.
Me know about that.
Nazim is the wicketkeeper.
They didn't say which office, eh? They didn't say which office.
Miss Campbell and Mr. Freeman the slips.
They didn't say which office. But we're going to be having Carriacou versus St. John, and then there'll be St. Andrew Southeast versus St. David, the reigning champs versus St. David. So that's going to be a nice one.
That would be a good, very interesting game. The neighbors, Southeast and St. David's. Basically neighbors.
All you get me to go and bowl, all you matter.
I go with a keeper.
I will support in a very tangible way. I'll support. Yes, indeed. Folks.
Sheldon, I see somebody giving you a talk, you know. Charmaine.
Big girl, behave yourself. Leave me alone.
You getting big bone now.
I understand all you.
Could you imagine 30, 20 years ago?
This baby they should see. 4407377
and 347-329-3109. The day after 45 years of independence.
And folks, on one of our earlier discussions this morning, we started off with the Deputy Chief of Mission, Mr. Joaquim Monserrate, out of the U.S. Embassy in Barbados. And he was mentioning, and I think this is an important one that a lot of people need to think, when you go in front of the consular officer on your visa application, just be honest.
Yeah, and answer
if
the
you don't know, say you don't know.
Honestly.
But some people, they try to create and think, and the people who are there, they're trained.
Very well
So
trained.
when you think you're fooling them,
no, they see right through you, you know.
They see through your lie, but they hand you a little more bait to see if you go take it and head for deep water. So they'll ask you another question and you answer in a certain way, and they realize you're lying, and once you're lying, you're being deceptive.
Yeah.
They won't give you. So you be honest. Just be honest when you go there. You have notice what he said, and you'll hear it on the rebroadcast tonight at 8 p.m. on CRFM 89.5 and at 10 on 94.9 up there in Brooklyn. Or you could view it online afterwards as well. He said you could go with all the documents you want. You could go with how much stamp and document and
how much money is bank statement.
Yeah, you
and
could go with all of that.
Yeah, all kind of recommendations.
If you are being dishonest, that is what they're gonna use to deny you the visa.
Yeah, the eye-to-eye contact, that's face-to-face contact, where they could ask you that question and what you answer, what's your body language. They are trained.
So it's not that they don't want to give you a visa. They want to give you the visa.
You got to work for
people
it.
Because they make money off of that. And if you're going to the United States and you're spending money and come back, because when there's Grenadians, we know we are. We're going up there and we're going and shop. We're going and buy things. We put in money into the American economy.
You're going to be for a month, you're going to all 5,000 US, all kind of thing.
They want people come. They mightn't want you to stay, but they want you to come.
You want to spending power. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you, Doc.
What about, sorry, I wasn't able to follow the interview. But I'm not sure if it may not have been an appropriate occasion, but, you know, I think we have always wondered why Grenada may not be given some special consideration in the fact that we have here in Jublo an American consulate facility. It's really would have been helpful. I mean, the last announcement last year, goes some way in alleviating the difficulty Grenadians face in traveling to Barbados, etc., etc. However, I think it's having that facility here. It will really helpful if persons who wish to travel to the United States of America could have their necessary done at that level,
We did ask that question, and we were told that yes, that there is no consideration on that right now because they need that face-to-face interaction with individuals and so on. There was an answer to that. I don't think we got a clear answer, but we did ask the question if consideration can be given in a situation like that. I believe at the government level, though, representation continues to be made. It has been made before and will continue to be made to both the U.S. and Canada for consular services here in Grenada. I know that both countries have been approached on more than one occasion to ensure that Grenadians no longer have to travel at all, not even for the first visit to the U.S. Embassy. The thing is, the U.S. Embassy will incur a cost to do that over here. It means that they therefore have to bring the biometric equipment to Grenada. They have to increase the number of staff here in Grenada to deal with that because you're going to be dealing with a sizable amount of people over a period of time. Especially if it's based here in Grenada, I see many more people applying for US visas.
Of course.
Many more than apply right now, because you don't have to take a plane. It's just the cost now of the visa application itself. You don't have to take a plane, you don't have to get a room, everything. So a lot more people who would want to and have not been able to because of financial constraints would apply. So it also would mean that the U.S. Embassy would have to increase their staff here at a time when they're looking to reduce, not increase.
It's a second issue. Listening to another entity, I heard, I just want to compliment the people for their presence yesterday at the national observance of the anniversary, for the 5th anniversary of our independence. You know, it was impressive to see the number of persons that turned out and the expressions of Grenadianness, you know, faulting the chicken and chips. I heard one person mention an engagement with an officer of the law at the activities, and I just wish to say this, you know, I really look forward to the day when, you know, we as a people could return to the times when our men and women in uniform are given due respect. It's just my opinion, brothers, that I think over the recent years we have seen too many incidences where our citizens have been seen engaging our men and women in uniform publicly in rather disrespectful manners. It is my opinion that once we are addressed by one of the policemen or policewomen of our country, we oblige, we comply, and if we have any objections, we raise it respectfully on another occasion as such. Yeah, to be seen. I mean, you see videotapes of persons gesticulating and the expressions in front of all men and women in uniform. I think it's embarrassing, and it's not a good example for the young ones of our country. And I think that is something we as a people have to eradicate. You know, we are approached by the members of the law, we listen to them, comply with them, and we raise our objections subsequently accordingly. Yeah? So this is just what I want to take away today. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, so thanks for your contribution.
Yes, indeed. 28 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock on the day after Independence Day. A lot of people still kind of tired. Boy.
What was the, well, you perhaps had a chance of view, perhaps more than me. Mm-hmm. What was the highlight of yesterday's?
Well, I could tell you in the Prime Minister's address, there was a highlight that we'll be having a Devon Smith stand.
Yes, well, that hit me. Somebody called me and said, yes, we get it. Harpa said, good morning.
Devon Smith stand, yeah.
Yeah, fine.
You getting that?
We got that.
You getting that?
The players pavilion, player stand, Devon Smith.
And the 25th and 27th, folks, remember cricket, lovely cricket, right here on the Spice Isle.
Yeah. Tickets go on sale as yet, Sheldon?
I'm not sure.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sheldon and Devon, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to Grenada. Mr. Watts and Zingo and Ian and Patty and Matthew and everybody. Good morning. Lovely day in Grenada today, the sun. But me put out with me, man. Me put out with me this morning. I want to say, yesterday we had a very nice day, Independence Day in the park. Sheldon, I saw you, you know. I want to say good morning to Mr. Tillman Thomas. You know something? Whenever they give that man an invitation, he always will come. If anything the government have. And I want to say good morning to him. He and his daughter. They always get that man. He got two patriots, two Grenadians. Mr. Tillman Thomas, good morning, sir. That man always there. I admire him for that. And to the police officers and the prison officers, I wish the prison officers get the trophy. They was well dressed. And they was well dressed. If the prison officers don't get it, give the cadet. The cadets, them young people. And I line. They was real nice yesterday. The police officers in the white that did a nice display. And all the Grenadians that was there. Morning to Mr. Prime Minister and to the Governor General. The Commissioner get the official salute yesterday. Mr. Martin, that was so nice. I admire all of that. Anyhow, everybody had a nice day. Today is nice in the song of St. George. Sun is shining nice, Grenada, and people back and forth doing what they have to do. So you all have a nice day, everybody. Have a blessed weekend. This Cammy Day which is put out dinner. Have a good day. I know Dr. Thomas I just called Sheldon.
Yes, himself.
Eh?
Himself that call.
I find the person from him and I'm calling him, he don't answer me.
Oh gosh.
I'm calling him all the time, he don't answer, but it's alright.
Yeah, you know.
It's alright.
Yeah.
They don't answer me. All you won't need me only 5 years up.
Oh,
have a good day.
Now, you know you answer your Cammy. You know, once he answers because he was most likely in an emergency. That's the only way Doc does not answer.
No, Cammy knows that.
Yeah, you know if it's one person go answer, you and go respond to his Doc, man. Oh gosh, Cammy. Oh,
but
gosh.
you know, I hear everybody calling for the prison officers to get that trophy. I've not had the opportunity to see them on the parade and so, but there has been, I mean, some good performances from them over the years. At one point in time, they were at a low, because I remember in the 70s and even 80s, in the 70s in particular, the prison officers, they were outstanding in their uniform and their march and everything like that, you know. And but hey, good to see that the participation is good. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello. Hello. Cammy phone will be called back.
Cammy phone will be called back. Let's see if she crazy, yeah?
Cammy phone will be automatically called back.
Cammy, check your phone.
Cammy, your phone just call us back on your own, eh?
And good morning to all the busmen of our nation. Wherever you route you're plying, good morning to you, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Whether you're plying the route or you're concreting it or you're boarding it up, wherever you're doing. You're on that route.
Yeah,
nice.
Those in the terminus in St. George's right here. Yeah, the Grenville busmen, good morning to you, my friends.
Yes, indeed. And folks, the phone number 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101. Give us a call.
Get on the inside. You know, Devon, when you look in any direction, if you look down so, we've seen stuff that NNP do. If you look so, we've seen things NNP do. You look so, you've seen it.
East, west, north, and south.
Whichever direction you turn.
Southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast.
Yeah, whichever direction you
turn.
turn.
Southeast, anywhere you turn.
Yeah.
Grenada has been touched.
Because where the bus terminal is now used to be water.
Oh yeah, real water.
Where the fish market is now used to be water.
Where NIS new building is again.
It used to be water.
The old
the
building,
bank, everything.
Everything.
Well, part of the bank, and if it's part of the bank resting on where pitch pine bar.
Yes, where pitch pine bar is.
Part of the bank resting on where pitch pine bar used to be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
used to be right around there.
If you look at where Ariza Credit Union is right now, going all along there,
there used to be the health center. And
understand?
The Grand bus stand.
Yeah.
We have a call online.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Scott.
Morning.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Scott, I attended the rally yesterday at the National Stadium. And the only problem I think we had, at least most of the people who was talking about it, is that in top stand, we couldn't hear the PA system properly from the bottom. Yeah, a lot of people had a problem hearing.
Yeah,
right up to the top.
I had a problem
facing the power station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at least some of the people had left because especially when the Prime Minister was speaking, you could have barely hear from the top stone. So I think that was one problem was lacking here. So I don't know why they didn't use. It would have been better if they used some of the speakers in the pavilion, probably better. That's the only problem we had. But apart from that, it was well properly attended.
Yeah.
We enjoyed Mr. Scott. Thanks very much, sir.
All right, blessings.
Have a good day, my friend.
Yeah, I did pick up the little audio problem because they were using the speakers down on the field.
Okay.
And the problem with that is that even I, for myself, where I was sitting, certain parts of the Prime Minister's address, I didn't hear it properly. I didn't hear parts of it properly. And maybe just something that could be looked at, because remember, we generally do not use that facility for the independence celebrations. We use the cricket facility. Because we try our very best to protect the track at the athletic stadium. Try our very best to protect it. I cringe yesterday when I see vehicle drive on it. I cringe. Even with the plywood, they are still cringing and I'm praying that nothing happened to it. Because to replace it, you're going to be speaking about $1 million. Just to replace the track alone in the stadium, you're going to be speaking over $1 million to replace it.
We have to be very careful.
So we must be careful how we preserve our track. So that took place there yesterday, and due to that, I think that's probably why they didn't use the internal PA system, and they used that. Also for the people on the field to follow the instructions, because some of the instructions were being given over the system. They needed to have it at an angle that they can hear it.
Yeah, they're the ones.
So that's why they use. But I do understand what the caller is speaking about. Yeah.
Well, as we're talking independence, I really want to say thanks and congratulations to all the different villages who had their little activities in addition to the national celebrations and so. Right or wrong, it was well attended wherever I passed and so on my way home to duties and back to home, but especially though to the persons of Grambra, right in the heart, the belly of Grambra in St. Andrews. They came out in the numbers and supported, a nice community event, community spirit. And so where you had everybody, the young people, the elderly, the middle age, whoever coming out and celebrating that independence.
Let's just say a special good morning to all our fellow clowns.
I think it's part of that one. I don't think it's
no them people them say we's clown. But I know on Wednesday that is some of the most colors I ever see. I know like the Jukabone with some Grenadian there. I see man going to do construction, they have on the colors. I see man people going to work in office, they have on the colors. I see fellas driving bus, they have on the colors. I see students going to school, they have on the colors. Teachers have on the colors. Nurses have on the colors. The only people that couldn't wear colors is police because they had to wear the uniform. Everybody, all over. That's the most I see in a long time.
And especially our young people.
Don't interfere with Grenadian and the patriotism.
I'm telling you, don't.
And then come in you. If somebody lie on you, I saying right now you do it. Sue me. Sue me. In fact, I'll share the video. I'll share the video. Share the video via HARDTALK, Nazi. Share the video via HARDTALK. Sue me. If somebody has taken your image and your video and manipulated it to make you say something you ain't say, I, Sheldon Scott, am sharing it today. Sue me. Take me to court. Take me to court. I sharing it. You have a legal right to do it.
Of course.
Through the Electronic Crimes Act, because that would be a crime. Sue me.
Yeah, and it's your constitutional right.
Like, so go edit anything. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said that. He said we're black.
Yeah, he said we're black.
Set a clown and all kind of stupidness. Nonsense. Share it.
But who was the biggest
Let them sue us.
Who was the biggest clown about independence?
Don't interfere with Grenadians when it comes to the country. The patriotism, different aspects of the country, don't interfere with it.
Don't.
As some Trinidadians learn the hard way by interfering with oil dung. I know what it does. They feel like they have oil, so they know it's oil dung.
Oil dung.
So they go and they try a thing.
Don't try
and
that,
they end up in big partner of mine, good friend. I grew up together, the man. Man go and make a thing and he's saying that is oil down and all can I say is, boss, don't put that up.
Put it on face. What's wrong with it?
I warn the man. I say, boss, I will make you famous and take it down. You have to close the page, you know.
What?
Why could they take all that
man? But you have to have belly. You can't test green. If you really want to see what oil long is all about, my friend, look at all the postings yesterday. Look at all the postings.
The thing was looking like split pea soup.
I see some pot of oil long, man, some size of pot. And the quality, I even see oil long with the Grenada map and the flag on the top of the pot, and make with peppers and carrots and all these type of things. I mean, it was, But I was saying to the young people of our nation, for 2 days, came out and made a statement significantly. On Wednesday, Colours Day, and on Independence Day, the young people came out and showed their patriotism. You understand? Despite so many persons calling for persons to boycott this and do that, and so Grenadians, patriotism, it was there.
Devon, let me make a look at Marcona.
Yeah.
How come NDC didn't have the normal independence celebration thing yesterday?
Yeah, I was wondering.
You can't organize her.
No, they lack what it takes.
Usually they does have a little something. Does try to pull people from the stadium by having something on the beach.
A side thing.
At the same time that we are thinking. But I find one to them this year.
They're dying. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, my dear.
Sheldon.
Yes, my dear.
Sorry for calling back, but I have to say that. The most watched yesterday when you look at colours in the park. But I want to say.
Oh gosh.
God, Lord, she's gone through.
Don't worry, she will call back. She will get a call.
Definitely.
She will get a call, man. Yeah, calling we.
I see colours. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you, my friend. You live.
Morning, Sheldon and Devon.
Good morning, my friends.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. Proud Grenadians.
Yeah, I want to say happy Friday morning to Grenada and the rest of the listening audience. I know Independence went, and I'm happy that it went and everybody enjoyed themselves. I want to raise something about our independence, because there's a few naysayers talking about, one, we are not independent, and two, what have we done from since we became independent? You know, and sometimes it's a little bit mind-boggling, baffling to hear people talk like that. Because what I do not understand, and these are big people, something from the time you were born to your present age, you haven't seen no improvement, no difference in the country as a whole, that you're saying the country has not improved. You know, sometimes, and these are people that use, the airways to blaspheme the negativity, all because they're trying to downgrade the progress of the new national party. And that's just simple what it is. Because to recognize the improvements of Grenada, they have to give some credibility to the new national party. So rather than do that, they opt by saying they didn't see no progress made in the country. I always believe in that history will always set the record straight. And you need to pay close attention to our history. My grandmother died at the age of 102, God bless her soul. And I say every day, thank God I had some real close deep conversation with her. And when she told me stories of what Grenada was like when she was able to understand as a human being, I know. And nobody can tell me that we are not independent and nothing as sort of improvement was made in the country, even though I wasn't around in her time. But based on what she tells me, the country comes a very, very long way. So for people to resort to those type of tactics, I'm appealing to them. Do not resort to those type of things. Even though you are opposing and you do not like the NNP party and you don't want to give credence to the party for the good job they have done, but don't give them that. Don't give Grenada that kind of bad name. Grenada has made a whole lot of progress, and let us give it to Grenada. It might be even better if you say Grenada did that, but to say as if you don't see no progress at all in the country, I mean, it's not nice. It's not nice, because I know for a fact they know and they see the progress that has been made in the country, but they just do not want to give the kudos to the new National Party. You know, I just felt I had to raise that for the naysayers and them. Let us get past that. Please, let us get past that. Thank you, guys. Man.
No problem, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Don't wear the national colors. Who is you?
Why you can tell Grenadians don't do that? Tell
fresh little fella.
Like you telling Grenadians don't cook oil long.
Yeah, Zani.
Pathetic. What's wrong with you?
Hey.
I mean,
stupid names, dotishness, and then people cutty thing, and now calling people to defend. Stop saying stupidness.
Yeah. And calling people to defend.
Last time you go, you say all kind of thing about the church.
Yeah. And protect me.
From the time they say what they say about the church, nothing that come out of their mouth supposed to surprise all you.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly. Oh God, Grenadians come out and defend me and protect me.
Defend who? The man that making all your party lose 15-0 again?
Yeah. Talking as that boo-boo and getting yourself in trouble.
Stay there. Let he direct all your image and all your messaging. Let he direct all your stuff and see where all you're going.
Grenadians don't mind you already.
Hear the difference.
You still.
Hear the difference here. They could call me whatever name they want. They could call Hard Talk whatever name they want. But here's the difference. Hard Talk was there in 2013 and NNP won
15 zip.
Hard Talk was there again in 2018 and NNP won
15 zip.
Right. So they could bad talk as much as they want. They could say as much as they want. They could throw words as much as they want. They'll continue to be the failures that they are, and they will never come out of the realm of being desperate failures.
That don't bother we.
Failures. You're not of the quality and standard to be able to talk to us. You could call us all sorts of names. You're a failure.
That's it.
And you continue to be a failure.
Has been and will be.
Yes, no, I know it's that you want. You get it today.
Yeah.
Failure. Waste of time.
And stand
You're not
up.
to the standard to talk to us on Hard Talk, yeah?
Stand up on your own. Defend your own self.
This time last year, you're the idiot that was out there saying that how NDC was within 13 seats. They were within 13 seats. And that how in St. George Northwest, they had some guy coming on your program and saying, and you keep giggling and stupidness with this stupidness about he within 8 votes or whatever, beating Dr. Mitchell up there. This nonsense. Because you disrespect the intelligence of the average Grenadian. So take what you get right now.
They are so comical. Oh
stupid.
My God, yeah.
Anyway, let you go to other people who make sense. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
I know it was you. Good morning to you, my friend.
Thanks for taking my call. Well,
you're lucky.
I was not at the stadium yesterday, but I ensured that the family was there. And you know that sometimes based on where you work, you know, if it's like fall in the category of something close to essential or essential, you have to make sure that you are there. Listen to this. Mr. Jones was crying on the radio this morning. He seems to be upset with a piece that appears on social media with him saying the things that he say on a daily basis. I just don't get it. Mr. Scott, if I am the main propagandist for a political party, it means that I know that smooth sailing will not be part of my comfort zone. Now, all right, you know, so I was surprised. But let me quickly get into what I really want to say here briefly. Now, under Gary, as I reflect here, we had Meet the People too. Mr. Gary was responsible for creating most of the roundabouts around here. He had the school feeding program that was in my time. He bought us independence. He bought us the School of Medicine. And he was the one that instituted land for the landless. Land for the landless, which caused Grenada today to have the highest land ownership by its people in the region. Mr. Scott, with all of that, you know what we say? We still call him a dictator, and we say crucify him. 45 years later, we calling that gentleman father of the nation, working class champion after he's gone. But yeah, what is ironic? But today, we are being cussed by people and cussing the masses and calling us some of the most untidy names just because we are giving Dr. Mitchell his flowers now while he is alive and still strong. Thank God we have come a long way. But listen to this part here. I'm going back to Brother Kim. Mr. Jones, he needs the NNP in office. He knows the NNP is the better party. He knows the NNP will be in office for a long time. He knows what he's saying gets the NDC nowhere. But he keeps saying these things just because that's what the naysayers and NNP haters want to hear. Then what he do? Then he calls on them every month to maintain his $6,000 a month lifestyle. And get it? And still sell them the idea that things are so bad in the country. The question I want to ask them, how many of you all could maintain a $6,000 a month lifestyle without a job in a country where things you say are so bad? Then turn around and call people like me that supports the NNP not intelligent or stupid. Are you kidding me? Gentlemen, have a pleasant day.
Duh.
Sue me. I want them to sue me. Make that mistake. Sue me.
But you know,
frivolous lawsuit.
when you out there, you exposing yourself and everything, right? Doing all sorts of, saying all sorts of things towards the Grenadian people, and then you turning around and begging them to defend you and to support you, right? You call them all sorts of names. They illiterate, they dunce, right? All sorts of names you call the Grenadian people, clowns, everything, and you want them to defend you and continue to support you? Come on, man, get real. Duh.
Ah, brother. 440-7377.
347-329-3101.
Yeah, so
give
folks,
us a call.
Next week, Saturday, we're going to have the opening of the Docks Cricket Challenge competition. That'll be taking place at the Malmont Playing Field from 4 p.m. Looking forward to seeing all of you there. Tomorrow at the range is PT Tang, that's right, the shooting range there. The Grenada Gun and Rifle Association, they're going to be having the independent shoot. Yeah, so for the novice category and other categories, you know, the more advanced and so. So Devon, you could go up.
Well, I could still go. I mean,
yeah,
I could still go.
Make a look at turn and thing, you know. Yeah. So they have the shooting competition, pistol.
And I want the PKM. The PKM thing.
Oh God, no, only pistol. Oh God, we are going up there for no God.
Everything.
You all the soldiers say
this guy like a thing.
Oh God, pistol, 380 and above. Yeah, okay. 380 and above. They ain't going under that. They ain't no 32 and thing. 380 and above. 380 and above. Yeah, so they're having that competition. Let's get a call in.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
How everything?
Oh, we good.
Yes, Sheldon. I have a wonderful day yesterday at the stadium, man. It was excellent display by the parade. Even the culture was very nice. You saw all different type of culture at the stadium, which we enjoy, and we feel happy as a Grenadian to be there to see the benefit of our country, the benefit that this government make. Because look at the national stadium, where people are so comfortable to sit at the national stadium. Even after the Ireland program finished, people still sit down there. They don't want to move. They did not want to move because they feel so comfortable to be at the stadium, at the Carriacou National Stadium, to enjoy the wonderful display of our 45th independence anniversary. I want to say kudos to the government for that, for this, and the committee that spearhead the independence organization. It was well done. I want to say kudos to them. And Brother Devon and Shelley, I want to say something. You know, there's some people just cannot learn. More you speak about the negative things, more people turn against you. But continue to do it. Because look, I always say in the NDC party, there is a lot of Grenadians there, the patriot Grenadians. They want to see good for the country. And when you're doing this thing, calling people who win the national colors, clung, my God, you also call in the people that you want to support you, to pay the money, to support your program, to have a good life. Clung too. I want to say we have to uplift people, and at the Prime Minister was saying in his speech, it's time for we to come together to build and unite. Let us put party aside. Let us put country first. I call it upon the detractors. Yes, you may not like somebody, but you love your country. Love your country. See what you could do for your country. Not what your country could do for you, but what you could do for your country. And as we go forward to the 46th independence anniversary, I pray that every one of us, will come together. Let us come together, have a closer bond of unity, and let us work together for the achievement and benefit of our nation. Brother Sheldon, Devon, you all have a wonderful. God bless you all.
All right, thank you,
my friend.
What I could say is this: you're absolutely correct. Even after the military parade, and so usually we might expect some people to leave, and so, and people hung around, man, and they were really proud to be there. And it says a lot about the average Grenadian, because you know what? I saw folks there yesterday who are members of the NDC.
Of course.
Card-carrying active members of the NDC. Yeah. And they came out in their national colors yesterday.
Patriotic Grenadians.
Because they see their country before their party. And that's important. So I'd like to congratulate them. I saw people there who were members of the... Although I didn't see Brother Burke around yesterday.
So. Yeah, I don't know if he was on island. I don't know if he was on island.
Hiding. I find all of them kind of hiding.
And that bothers me, I keep saying that. Yeah.
I was there in the section where you had former senators and former ministers and things. I ain't find I see none of them who used to be in NDC. I ain't find I see Brother Ray. I ain't find, come on. If you're there, come show you look a face and thing, man, come across, Go and show your face. Yep. I ain't find I see them. Well, so I know what go on there.
Sooner or later, they will raise their head. I hope for the right reason, not for the wrong ones.
And it's supposed to have a convention coming or something.
Yeah, sometime
I would have think if I was them and I was strategizing, I would have think that if you're doing your normal independence thing, you had the excuse that do your independence thing and use that as a springboard to galvanize your people towards your convention.
Exactly.
But you see, they can't do that because there's so much confusion coming up to the convention, in that different people creating different teams that want to go for different positions, and they're creating their slate. So they're getting the thing. NKB? NDPO? NTN?
Oh,
they're creating their slate.
AC Major?
Yeah. Alan.
Alan. Bright and early Monday. Make sure you present.
They're creating their slate to go towards the thing.
Yep.
Okay, remember a few months ago you had the young guy saying that he going for general sec, and all of a sudden they call him in and they warn him and say, well, I'm to you, boy. Be yourself now, boy. Sit down there. I'm to you. Can't go for no general sec, boy. Hush him out, boy.
You will still go for it.
Not the one he, man. He had a belly, he coward. Afraid. He ain't going for no general sec. God.
What did you have what it takes to
He just as coward as the next one who saying thing now and then asking people to defend him. Defend yourself.
Defend yourself. You're big, you're a grown man. Defend yourself.
I was in opposition. I say what I had to say. I never asked nobody to come out and defend me. I say what I said. We come in government. I say what I say. I didn't have to ask nobody to come out and defend me.
They could run their mouth and
I could defend myself. I know Devon could defend himself. When they threaten Devon, they go in and take his clothes. You see, you have a bag. Devon, show them your bag. Devon, up to now, he does still walk with his bag.
I still have clothes in there inside.
Making sure he has clothes in his bag. Yeah.
I ain't taking no chance.
From boxers up, he have everything in his bag, just in case.
I know who I'm dealing with. I understand how they think. So I want to be one step ahead of them. You see, we have been able in the last election to basically, deal them with a serious blow, right? Send them into, they almost get shredded away. You understand? This program, myself and Sheldon, we ensure that the Grenadian people got the right information about them, who they are, what they're planning, what they're up to.
But you had the idiots like Randall and them that day, continue saying, oh, these guys only lying. Show the Grenadian people where we lie. Take us to court. Yeah. Show where we lie and we mash up all the character and all kind of thing. All they doing a good enough job at that. We just had to expose it. Yeah? We just had to expose it.
Yep.
Yeah, all they come out, oh, they only lying. Don't do this.
Tell us where we lie. Sue us.
Yeah. Sue. Sue.
I know a lot of all this still crimpling, because all they say so much a thing that could put all in hot water, all they shaking.
Listen, if we really decide to sit and go over audio and pull some clips again, just know this for a fact, we've got hours upon hours, maybe even days of audio and video that we ain't go through yet.
We ain't go through yet.
We ain't go through yet.
It's there for reference to go back
and
ensure that,
we're black damn fast.
We're
to say that. Yeah. Out of order. Anyway, that's all the time we have today. We're going. Folks, whatever you say and do, do it safe and secure. What are we speaking to and with you?
And not about you.
Remember the independence shoot that's taking place at the Pitiatang tomorrow. I'm trying to remember the time. Oh boy, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing my message from the GGRE. It's somewhere here. But it's going to be taking place there tomorrow. You could contact Dwayne or one of the other members of the GGRE and so on, find out. As well as, I know the Prime Minister, he has his treat for the elderly on Sunday. He's going to, Prime Minister usually for the independence, he has a treat for the elderly. And so, yes, I believe that's taking place on Sunday. So, it's going to be a nice one. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Love each and every one of you. Remember, Grenada comes before each and every one of us.
Peace
out. Grenada first, anything else go come after.
In the pipeline depot.
Government concessions to SGU could mean medical students will complete their studies debt-free. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for today, Wednesday, February 6th, I am Rakisha St. Louis. Medical scholarship recipients could complete their studies debt-free thanks to the concessions that government will provide to the St. George's University in return for the scholarships. That's according to Climate Resilience Minister Senator Simon Steele. However, he says they will be required to serve out their bonds. Senator Steele was addressing members of the media during the government's weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday.
For a Grenadian student to go through their medical training without any debt is actually a remarkable thing. And we're offering them a remarkable opportunity for us, for the government to expect them to serve out their bond to work within the public health service for a defined number of years to pay back is not unreasonable. But we've had significant challenges, and we've raised this on many, many occasions. The number of students who graduate, who qualify, but then turn to the private sector, who break their contractual agreements with government. So the enforcement of those bonds is a top priority, and we'll be working with St. George's University to strengthen that agreement. And part of that is to establish a special fund where those students who break their bonds will be required to pay back the outstanding monies that are owed, which will be paid into this special fund, which will then be used to provide opportunities for other students.
Turning to news of Grenada's 45th independence anniversary celebration. Grenadians will turn out in their national colors on Thursday to participate in the country's Independence Day Rally, Military Parade, and Made in Grenada Expo at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The activities are being guided by the theme, celebrating 45 years, building resilience and enhancing social and economic transformation. As part of the celebrations, a national wear competition has been launched, and Grenadian designers have until May 10th to complete their various designs. The competition was launched on Wednesday, February 6th. Director of the Grenada Cultural Foundation, Kelvin Jacob, said the national wear must reflect the island's climate, lifestyle, and identity. The competition will be held under two categories, formal wear and casual wear for both male and female.
So the species of our heritage, our cocoa, the distinct leaves of Grenada, flora and fauna, the placement of the motif, the color combination, the fabric, cotton fabric that will be conducive to our climate, all of these themes that we can use in the design of the national wear. Now the skirt must be of knee length or ankle length, and the shirt can be long or short sleeve. The dress, again, knee length or ankle length, and the head covering required for formal or maybe optional for casual. Now, the men's national wear criteria, they have two parts there. So we have a shirt and a trousers. Then we have head covering, it can be optional. You can have head ties or hats, but we do not want a cap per se. And any large accessories or attachments and materials must be designed in a way that it can be dismantled.
With training young men and women to be doctors, one of the most noble of professions. And that when they complete their training, they will be debt-free. This is unheard of in countries that have the financial resources.
Jacob says the competition will be done in two phases. Phase 1, designers must submit a design concept and produce a miniature sample of their idea. And Phase 2, the design must be completed to be judged. 5 finalists will be shortlisted following the first phase. He said only Grenadians 18 years and older can participate.
All entries must be completed and submitted to the Grenada Cultural Foundation office before the deadline. So in order for you to be part of this competition, you must do that before the deadline. Now the designers, again, who can partake in this competition? The designers must be Grenadian citizens or permanent resident domiciled in Grenada. So you can be living abroad, but you're a Grenadian, you're living in the United States, Canada, you can take part in the competition. Someone who is married to a Grenadian, living in Grenada or maybe living abroad, can also take part in that competition.
In other news on independence, some of the primary schools in the town of St. George portrayed their patriotism during the National Colors Day on Wednesday. They paraded the streets in their red, green, and yellow outfits. The show of patriotism is in keeping with the island's 45th independence anniversary under the theme, Building Resilience, Enhancing Social and Economic Transformation.
We're going to do what you call a school parade. We're actually right now we're at the Kirani James Stadium car park. We're moving on to Melville Street, and we're just going to showcase our beautiful colors around town with the kids in the back of me. We have some kids here participating from the various schools, various primary school. We have St. George's Methodist School. We have St. George's Anglican Junior School. We also have Parkview Preschool. Yes, and we have carrying us with some lovely music, our GBSS Drum Corps.
Coordinator Jenna Charles. This is the National Report on Grenada's 45th anniversary of independence. More news when we return.
Guys, if I ask you what you think is the most deadly or the most dangerous creature on this planet, what are you going to say?
A shark.
Shark.
A lion.
A lion. If I tell you it's a mosquito, what are you going to say?
Mosquito.
A mosquito.
It is a mosquito.
Mosquito bites result in the deaths of more than 1 million people every year. Thriving in humid and damp areas, mosquitoes reproduce quickly. The females lay their eggs in water and water-holding containers. When the pupa changes into adults, they leave the water and become free-flying biting insects. These biting pests can carry a number of diseases. Once you have a mosquito problem, check out your surroundings. It means that the mosquito breeding source is near your home. It is almost impossible to get rid of mosquitoes entirely. However, we can all play our part in controlling the mosquito population. Mosquito control is not solely the responsibility of the Ministry of Health, but it's also the responsibility of every member of the community.
Welcome back. Villages across Grenada participated in the 2019 National Celebrations Committee Independence Beautification Competition with a greater focus this year on projects. In Nonpareil St. Mark, the artistic skills of Tyrone Peters caught the lens of our cameras. The budding artist said while he is confident in his ability, painting the bus shed is his first major project.
Well, the whole design, well, my partner come up with the idea with the flag how to fly, so then I do that. And the other one, I just use my imagination and just do what I do.
How long did it actually take you?
It took me a couple hours to do it yesterday, and I also continue today to finish it up.
In Marquis, St. Andrew, the project was a commendable one. Linda Nichols, member of the St. Andrew Southeast Development Organization, explained why Marquis was the village chosen.
But in the parish of St. Andrews, Marquis was the first town. It wasn't Grenville. Before it was moved to Grenville, Marquis was the first town. So we decided to choose Marquis as our location, showcasing how Marquis has developed over the years. One of the main thing that stands out about Marquis is the craft that they do. They normally use wild pine and turn it into straw craft. So you'd have the straw hats, the baskets, and so on. So our project today showcases that. As you can see, the booths and so that we're building is kind of surrounds the vendors and what they sell from the crafts.
Resident of Marquis, Randy Isaac, says he is extremely proud to see the transformation taking place in his community, one that has made significant contributions to the tourism sector.
I am very happy to see, things happening in my community. We've been, left back for a while, but, they're stepping up to the plate and letting things happen. It's a way to bring the community together. Marquis is known for the straw and arts and craft. We had the first fort right over there. There's to protect the tongue of Grenville. It's a historical village. And when things happening, it brings joy to my heart. And anything to help the development of this community, I am happy to see it.
Our camera crew also visited Lasages, Pearls, and Tivoli. The spirit of independence was also evident at the ministerial complex. At the Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, GIS spoke to Ms. Caroline Honoré, Senior Administrative Officer, about the idea behind their initiative. That ministry offers services such as the SEED program, housing and burial assistance, among others.
So we decided to look at the technology part of it, where, if you look here, we have started within the public service using a typewriter. And you move to a computer, you move to a laptop. And then the telephones, you have the different type of telephones, and you eventually lead on now to the mobile phone, the cell phones. And we also looked at the ability to sustain yourself by eating properly. So we depicted some of the ground provision and vegetables. So when you do that, you'll be able to say that you are part of enhancing the economic and social transformation from the ministry's end.
We also visited Cabinet Office in the Prime Minister's ministry and spoke with Mrs. Lorraine St. Louis Ned. She says their focus was on resilience and transformation.
So we've looked up here with PMO, we've looked at transformation and resilience in tourism. So taking it through from the beginning on how tourism developed in Grenada, the impact of Hurricane Ivan and the recovery of the industry after. Cabinet Office side looked at resilience and transformation in agriculture, specifically looking at cocoa. So our focus was the development of cocoa from the introduction of cocoa into Grenada in 1747 up to the point where we started producing chocolate, and the devastation of the industry with the 2 hurricanes that we had, and the recovery after that to the point now where we have 5 companies on the island producing chocolates. So we were looking at that. Downstairs, the Department of Public Administration looked at resilience and transformation in the public service. So they looked at how the public service was before and the transformation that would have taken place. So if you go downstairs, you notice they have some displays of the equipment that were used back in those days and how they've changed now that we are a little bit more modern and so on.
That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, February 6th, 2019. Recapping the top story. Government concessions to SGU could mean medical students will complete their studies debt-free. On behalf of everyone who made this newscast possible, I'm Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us and happy Independence, Grenada. Until next time.